Hello guys, welcome. So in this video, I'm going to try to explain to you the concept of classes, okay, in as simple language as possible. And when I was trying to learn this concept of classes and objects, I was really finding it difficult. Probably because most people were really explaining it using complicated examples. But in this video, I'm hoping to explain it to you in as simple illustrations as possible. Okay, so before we proceed, I want to encourage you to subscribe to my channel, especially if you are new to it. It's just a simple click, and that's it. If you're new to it, feel free to explore my content. We have videos for engineering students, QGIS, AutoCAD, which will be coming soon, engineering concepts, and coding on Python. And there are actually a lot more that is coming on. So if you feel my contents are useful, just feel free and subscribe to my channel, and that's it. Okay, so let's proceed to classes. Okay, so a class is just a blueprint, okay, or a structure for creating objects. How do I mean by blueprint? I mean a format. Okay, so a class is just a format for creating objects. An object is anything that has properties. Okay, it's just anything that has properties. Okay, properties as in functions or other capabilities. All right, so um So if you see someone creating a class or someone trying to create a class, the person is just trying to create a format, okay, or some kind of framework, some kind of format, so that every other object would carry that format. Let's take it for instance. Every human being has systems. Okay, we have your skeletal system, we have your digestive system, we have your respiratory system, your circulatory system. A lot of systems in every human being, and every human being, let me put it, every standard human being should have these systems. Okay, so the systems are what we call the classes. Okay, so now when I say that, okay, I have a nose, then I'm expecting that if you are also a human being, you will have a nose. When I say, oh, I have a tongue, then I'm expecting that if you're also a human being, you will have a tongue. So if you've seen someone, for instance, a blacksmith, okay, a blacksmith molding a sword, a blacksmith molding a sword. Usually, what happens is the molten metal is being poured into a certain container or a certain shape, okay, and before it's being poured into a certain shape in order to allow it to freeze. After it freezes, then you have your after it freezes, then you have your sword, okay. So now the class is the container. In this case, the container, that shape in which the molten metal is being poured into, that is your class. Okay, now what comes out of it is the object. Okay, I hope this example is easy enough for you to understand. When you pour it into a shape, the shape is the class. Okay, so whether you pour a silver metal into it or a gold metal or a bronze metal, it's going to carry that same property of, it's going to carry the same shape, the same inscriptions and everything that every other object created from that particular class would have. Okay, do you understand? Yes. So when you say you are creating a class, it means that, so when you are creating a class, it means that you are creating a framework or a certain format, so that when you start to create objects, all these objects will have the same format. All of them will have the same methods, the same properties, and the same shape. Okay. All right. So like I said, an object is just anything with properties. So let's go forward and try to create a class. So in creating a class, we use the class in creating a class, we use the class keyword. Okay, then the class keyword followed by the name of the object. I would say my object, but then I wouldn't want to use arbitrary example. So I'll just try to find a concrete example which we can work with. Oh, class person. Okay, so now we have a class called person. Now each person has a nose, right? Or let's just say each person has a name. Okay, so you would say, now in each class you can put methods. Okay, in each class you can put methods or functions. If you don't know what these are, you can refer to my previous videos on methods and functions. So in each class you can just add a simple method. Okay, let's say class method name, or you can put a variable. Okay, so let's say name equals Justin, um age equals 12, um gender equals male. What else? Eye color equals brown. height equals, let's say 4. Actually this will be in feet, but what else? Okay, so this is just a simple class. Okay, it's a simple class containing variables. Now what you're saying is every other object that is created from this class would have all these properties, including its own properties. But these are default properties for any other object that will come. Every person would have a name, an age, a gender, an eye color, a height. Okay, so if you go forward to create an object, that object would automatically inherit the properties of this main class or parent class. All right, let's see. Okay, so let's try to create a new object. So I'm just going to create a new object called okay, because this is I want to remove this one and edit my class in such a way that, okay, I'll leave this one as person still, in such a way that I can keep creating new persons. Okay, so I want to create a new person. This time I want to create a person called John. Okay, John. So I'll just leave the name also, and this time I'll create a new person called John. Okay, so now I'm just coming to start at this beginning of my line. I'm going to say John equals to um, John equals to person. Now, in order to access the properties of a class, okay, in order to access the properties of a class or the features or characteristics of a class, you use the dot notation. Okay, so I'm just going to say, for instance, if we were using the person, I could just say person dot, then you see the available properties. So you can see that this person has an age, he has an eye color, he has a gender, he has what's this okay, this is a function, I didn't put it there. He has a height and he has a name. Okay, so in the same way, if I come and I say John, I think I should change this John to a small letter John. I'm sorry if you are a John watching this video, but I'm a lazy person. So okay, so now John dot, and you see that John will automatically have the same characteristics because I've given the properties of a person to John. So I'm saying that the way I've assigned it, John is a person also. I can also assign another person called Paul. Okay, I don't know why I'm into Christian names today, but so Paul is a person also. In the same way, when I say Paul dot, then you see I have the properties of a person. Okay, even if I say a dog is a person. Okay, because of the fact that I've given the characteristics of a person to a dog. When I say a dog dot, I get all these properties. I hope you get it. Okay, so now let's learn to give our own properties to our new persons. Okay, so for instance, this John, his name is not Justin. Okay, his name is John, so we can say John dot name equals John, John, like this. Okay, and then now we can say print John dot name. Let's see what we get. Are you printing John? Okay, here. Here's John.name. Okay, so we have basically changed. Even though John is a person, we are altering the features of John. Okay, we can also say John.age the same way. John.age is 47, and we will get the same thing. So this time, instead of name, we'll print age. We'll get the same thing. Also, just know that in place of these variables, you can replace them with functions. Okay, so define let's say wake up. Okay, you can just write a function. For instance, if you're doing something related to machine learning, you could just say wake up, then you write the code that will allow it to wake up. Let's say wake up. Then also you can write another function here, def take a bath. Okay, then you do the same thing. Let's just print take a bath, and then also def go to school. Oh, go to school. Okay, so basically it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Instead of variables, you just replace the variables with I'm going to school. So you just replace your variables with functions, okay, and this will still work. You can still access them in the same way. Person dot wake up, and you input the parameters for this function and it will work. Hopefully in the next videos we will try to apply this into solving our problems, okay. So I hope you understood the whole concept of classes. Now I want you to leave your comments for me so that I will get your feedback, okay. And if you have not subscribed, one more time I want to encourage you to subscribe to my channel, Geomatics.